Hi everybody, it's Peter Selby from Business Drivers, and this is snippet number 9 of our Growth and Profit series. And today's topic is business data. And that doesn't sound very exciting, I know, but it's really for me to give you some observations around how this is done well and what a difference it can make. So data comes in many forms in a business, and it's data from just binary numbers through to three-dimensional data, such as BIM, building information management systems, and digital twins, and things of very sophisticated data. So there's a whole range, I guess, across a business. But the most important thing about data is it's presented in some form that enables the business to make decisions, especially timely decisions. So real-time data is pretty critical in any organization. And the single simple rule, I guess, that we see where people can trip up the most is making sure there is only one source of the truth for data. So if it's safety data or financial data or whatever it may be, that when somebody references that data, it says the same thing no matter where they reference it from. And where we see organizations tripping up is where they might have multiple platforms with data in, for instance, or people can access data that's telling them different things depending on how they access it, and therefore various forms of the truth. And of course, you can't make decisions unless you're certain that the decision you're making, the data you're making the decision on, is right. Now, the trick to data, as I said, is making it real time. The other trick to data is making it visual. So people don't read spreadsheets with hundreds of lines of data in. They can't make decisions on that. You can't see patterns in data unless it's visual. So data needs to be trended, it needs to be accurate, it needs to be real time, and it needs to be visual. It also needs to be represented in a way that makes sense for the level of organization it's been observed at. For instance, the type of data that a board would want to see, for instance, quite different than the data that, say, a line supervisor would want to make in a manufacturing environment, where the data needs to be much more real time and much more immediate. Now, the collective term for data that's now got a lot of, I guess, airtime in business generally is business intelligence. And business intelligence platforms, i.e. the platforms that pull the data together and represent it in a way you can make decisions, are pretty critical to a business nowadays that wants to be competitive, because your competitors will have some sort of business intelligence, be making decisions around it. Business intelligence platforms have been extremely expensive, and also the consultants that bring them in tend to be as well, if they're connected to those software, and there's often ongoing subscription fees, user fees, etc. Now, I'm here to tell you that's not the case all the time, and in fact, we promote platforms, for instance, that are probably a tenth of the cost that you normally see in some of the more popular platforms with no subscription fees at all. So you don't need to pay loads of money to get real-time visual business intelligence data. And that's probably one of the key critical messages here, is you don't need to pay a lot of money for this. And it often puts businesses off trying to have those platforms to make decisions, because they rightly up until now consider it to be a significant investment and not something they could afford to do at this time. So the message is, keep your data current, keep it visual, keep it trended, make sure it's relevant at all the business levels you're trying to make those decisions, and it does not need to be expensive. There's very cost-effective ways of having real-time data dashboards across your business. Okay, that's all I'm going to talk about today. The last topic number 10, will be about business models. And that sounds quite dull, but I'm going to draw you one and give you an example of that. Now, if you want any more information around business data, and certainly how you can do that very competitively without spending a lot of money, just give me a call. Again, we've got these complimentary sessions set up, so you can call into me and I can spend a bit of time talking to you about what you're trying to do with data, give you some tips, give you some steerage around where you can get very cost-effective solutions to help you out. Okay, so until next time, I will say goodbye. Okay, see ya.